34 minutes for the next 34 years of your life. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice, a decision. You can listen to this speech like any other, nod your head, get inspired for a few minutes, and then go back to the same life, the same problems, the same excuses. Or you can take these next 34 minutes and commit fully, unapologetically, to transforming the next 34 years of your life. Because here's the truth. The life you're living today is the result of the decisions you made years ago, the body you have, the bank account you own, the relationships you're in, the level of happiness you feel. All of it is a reflection of your past actions or inaction. But the past does not have to be your future. You want change. You want success. You want to wake up one day and feel alive, powerful, and unstoppable? Then listen carefully, because the next 34 minutes are about to shake your world. There's a single moment in life where everything shifts. It's that moment when you decide. Not when you wish, not when you hope, not when you try. No, when you decide. When you burn the boats, cut the safety net, and say, no matter what, I will make this happen. Maybe you've been playing small. Maybe you've been waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to believe in you, waiting for the fear to go away. But let me tell you something. There is no perfect moment. No one is coming to save you. Fear is never leaving. You have to act despite it. The difference between those who live extraordinary lives and those who settle is simple. Those who win take massive, relentless action. They don't wait. They don't procrastinate. They don't let their emotions dictate their destiny. Right now, you need to decide, are you going to be the person who watches life happen or the person who makes life happen? Success is never about luck. It's about daily habits, daily decisions, daily sacrifices. The food you eat, the people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, it's either building your future or destroying it. The mind is like a thermostat. If you set it at 70 degrees, it doesn't matter if you get a little motivation and heat up to 90 degrees for a few days. You'll always drift back down to your set point. The only way to change your life permanently is to raise your internal thermostat, to demand more from yourself, to expect more. Most people don't fail because they don't have what it takes. They fail because they never fully commit. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to decide right now that you will no longer live a life of mediocrity. You're going to demand more from yourself than ever before. You're going to take control of your mind, your body, your finances, your future. Because if you truly grasp the power of these 34 minutes, they won't just change your day, they'll change your entire life. There comes a moment in every person's life when a single choice, a single decision alters the course of their future forever. Sometimes we recognize these moments as they happen. Other times we only see them in hindsight when we look back and realize that everything, every success, every failure, every breakthrough was set in motion by one decision. And right now, this is that moment for you. You might not feel it yet. You might think this is just another speech, another message, another fleeting bit of motivation that will fade away as soon as the video ends. But let me tell you something. The next 34 minutes have the power to shape your next 34 years. And whether you take control of that power or let it slip away will be a decision that defines the rest of your life. Think about it. Where you are right now in this very moment is not an accident. The job you have, the money in your bank account, the relationships you're in, the level of success you've achieved, it's all a direct result of the decisions you made years ago. Every small choice you made led you to this exact point. The times you decided to push forward, the times you hesitated, the times you made excuses, the times you showed up when no one else did. Maybe you don't like where you are right now. Maybe you're frustrated, tired, stuck, wondering why things haven't worked out the way you thought they would. But here's what you need to understand. Your past does not have to be your future. Whatever mistakes you've made, whatever opportunities you've missed, whatever bad habits you've built, it doesn't matter. What matters is the decision you make right now. Most people live their entire lives on autopilot. They wake up, go through the same routines, make the same excuses, complain about the same problems, and wonder why nothing changes. They don't realize that every moment is an opportunity to make a new decision, to shift their trajectory, to rewrite their future. And they waste years, decades, waiting for the right time to change, never realizing that the right time is always now. Let me tell you about two people, two individuals who started in the exact same place with the same resources, the same potential. One of them chose to take control of their life. The other waited. The first person made a decision, an unwavering, unbreakable decision to take action. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't know exactly how they were going to get where they wanted to go. But they knew one thing: staying the same was not an option. They started small. They took action every single day, even when they didn't feel like it, even when it was hard, even when no one else believed in them. And over time, those small choices compounded. 1 year later, their life was different. 5 years later, it was unrecognizable. And by the time 34 years had passed, they had built a legacy beyond what they ever imagined. The other person, they hesitated. They told themselves they would start tomorrow, next week, next year. They let fear and doubt control them. They waited for the perfect moment, and that moment never came. And after 34 years, they looked back and realized that life had passed them by. They had the same dreams, the same hopes, the same potential, but they never made the decision to act. The difference between these two people was not intelligence, luck, or talent. It was one single decision, one moment where one person chose to act and the other chose to wait, and that single choice made all the difference. So ask yourself, who are you going to be? Right now, in this very moment, you have the same choice in front of you. You can choose to step up, to take control of your future, to commit to a new level of excellence, discipline, and action. Or you can let this moment pass. But understand this, the decision you make today will not just affect today, it will affect every single day after this one. You might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. Let me tell you the truth. You don't need to know everything. You just need to decide. Decide that you will no longer accept mediocrity. Decide that you will no longer let fear dictate your actions. Decide that no matter what, you will do whatever it takes to create the life you want. Because here's what happens when you truly commit. When you make an unshakable, unstoppable decision, everything starts to shift. Your mind starts looking for solutions instead of excuses. The right people, the right opportunities, the right ideas start showing up in your life. You stop waiting and you start doing. And before you know it, you wake up in a completely different world, one that you built with your own choices, your own actions, your own relentless determination. There is no magic formula. There is no secret shortcut. There is only one thing that separates those who succeed from those who don't: the willingness to decide and act when others hesitate and wait. And if you need proof, look at anyone who has ever achieved something great. Every champion, every leader, every game changer in history had a moment where they made a defining decision, where they said, enough is enough. I will not accept anything less than my full potential. This is your moment, right here, right now. Don't let another day, another week, another year slip by while you stay stuck in the same cycle. Make the decision and make it with so much intensity that there is no turning back. Because if you truly grasp the power of this moment, if you truly commit, these next 34 minutes will become the most important minutes of your life. One decision, one commitment, one moment that can change everything. What are you going to do with it? Every great success story has one undeniable truth at its core: action. Not just any action, but massive, relentless, unstoppable action. Because dreams don't come true just because you want them to. Ideas don't become reality just because they sound good. And plans don't change lives if they're never executed. Look around. How many people do you know who talk about what they're going to do, who sit around discussing their big dreams, mapping out perfect plans, watching motivational videos, reading books, but never actually doing anything? They wait for the right moment, the perfect circumstances, the guarantee of success. And guess what? That moment never comes. They spend years preparing, but preparation without execution is just another form of procrastination. The only thing that separates those who achieve from those who never do is the willingness to take massive action, consistently, aggressively, and without hesitation. Because here's the truth: thinking is not enough. Planning is not enough. Wishing, hoping, dreaming, it's all worthless without execution. The universe doesn't reward potential. It rewards movement. Imagine two people with the same vision, the same desire for success. One spends years analyzing every possible step, debating the best approach, waiting for the perfect strategy. The other, they jump in. They start before they feel ready. They take action every single day. And yes, they make mistakes. They fall. They struggle. But they learn, they adjust, they grow. And before long, they're miles ahead while the other person is still standing in the same place, stuck in analysis paralysis, paralyzed by their own overthinking. Success is not about knowing everything before you begin. It's about beginning before you know everything. Look at any world-class athlete, any business mogul, any legend in history. They didn't get there by thinking about it. They didn't sit around waiting for motivation to strike. They moved. They made bold decisions. They took risks. They made sacrifices. And they took action when everyone else hesitated. The difference between you and the life you want is a single word: action. But not just any action. Massive action. Action so intense, so relentless, that success becomes inevitable. Because here's what happens when you start moving at that level. Momentum takes over. And momentum is the most powerful force in the world. It's what separates the unstoppable from the average. It's what turns small efforts into massive results. Think about a train at full speed. Nothing can stop it. It can crash through walls, tear down obstacles, plow through anything in its path. But that same train, if left sitting still, can be stopped by a single block of wood on the tracks. That's the power of momentum. That's the power of action. Most people never gain momentum because they never start. They take one step forward, then hesitate. They second guess themselves. They stop, restart, stop again. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the power that only comes with full sped execution. So how do you get there? How do you become unstoppable? You stop waiting. You stop hesitating. You stop overthinking and start doing. You don't wait until you feel confident, because confidence comes from action, not the other way around. You don't wait for motivation, because motivation is a byproduct of momentum. You move and you keep moving. And yes, you will fail. Yes, you will stumble. Yes, you will make mistakes, but that's part of the process. No one who ever achieved anything great did so without falling along the way. The difference between winners and losers is simple. Losers see failure as a reason to stop. Winners see it as feedback. They adjust, they adapt, and they keep going. Because action isn't just about doing, it's about doing and refining. It's about learning in real time. It's about taking massive swings, missing some, hitting some, and using every single lesson to get better. Most people want success. Few are willing to go all in for it. And that's why so few ever reach it. The world is full of people who almost made it, who almost started, who almost changed their lives. But almost means nothing. Almost doesn't pay bills. Almost doesn't build legacies. Almost doesn't change the world. You have to commit fully, without excuses, without hesitation. Ask yourself, what have you been putting off? What idea have you been sitting on? What dream have you been waiting to chase? And more importantly, why haven't you started yet? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it the illusion that you need more preparation? Let me tell you something. You don't need more time. You don't need more knowledge. You don't need more resources. You need to start right now. Because every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you could have been moving forward. Every excuse you make is time stolen from your own future. The people who make things happen in this world are not the ones with the best ideas. They are the ones who execute, who take action with an intensity that makes the world take notice. And that's the kind of action you need to take. Massive action leads to massive results. The question is, are you ready to step up and take it? From the moment we are born, we are shaped by the world around us. We are told what's possible, what's impossible, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And without realizing it, we absorb these beliefs as truth. They become the silent rules that dictate our lives. They tell us who we are, what we can achieve, and where our limits are. But here's the truth. Most of those limits are not real. They are mental chains, invisible barriers created by fear by doubt, by conditioning. And unless you break free from them, they will keep you trapped in a life far smaller than the one you were meant to live. Holding you back were never real. You become unstoppable. History is filled with people who shattered the limits others tried to place on them. Athletes who broke records once thought impossible. Entrepreneurs who built empires from nothing. People who were told you can't and responded with, watch me. The difference between them and everyone else wasn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It was mindset. It was the refusal to accept limitations. It was the decision to see fear as a challenge instead of a barrier. Because fear will always be there. Doubt will always whisper in your ear. But the ones who win, the ones who break free, are the ones who act in spite of it. Imagine how different your life would be if you stopped believing in your own limitations, if you stopped waiting for permission, if you stopped letting the past define you, if you stopped playing small because it feels safe. What if instead of thinking about what could go wrong, you focused on what could go right? What if instead of thinking of all the reasons you might fail, you obsessed over the reasons you must succeed? Because the truth is, you have no idea what you're truly capable of until you push past the limits your mind has set for you. Every time you challenge yourself, every time you step beyond your comfort zone, every time you do something that scares you, you grow. And the more you do it, the more those old chains start to break. But breaking free is a choice. No one is coming to unlock the door for you. No one is going to hand you permission to live the life you want. You have to decide. You have to take control. You have to refuse to let fear dictate your destiny. The world is full of people who never even try. People who spend their entire lives sitting in a cage with the door wide open. Don't be one of them. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop doubting. The only thing between you and everything you want is the story you're telling yourself. And if that story is holding you back, it's time to rewrite it. Success is never built overnight. It's not one grand action, one lucky break, or one massive leap forward. It's a process, an accumulation of small, consistent actions, repeated over time until they create something extraordinary. Every great achievement, every record-breaking athlete, every self-made millionaire, every revolutionary leader, they didn't wake up one day and suddenly have it all. They built it piece by piece, day by day, action by action. And the most powerful force behind their success, the power of compounding habits. Most people underestimate the impact of small daily actions because they don't see immediate results. They go to the gym once, don't see a six-pack in the mirror, and quit. They save a little money, realize it's barely anything, and stop. They read a book, feel no drastic change, and move on. They don't understand that success isn't about one-time effort. It's about stacking small wins until they turn into unstoppable momentum. Imagine a single drop of water hitting a rock. It does nothing at first. One drop, then another and another. It seems pointless, but over time, with persistence, that water will carve a hole straight through solid stone. That's the power of consistency. The things you do every day, the habits you repeat, are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. There are two types of people in life: those who understand this power and those who don't. Those who don't believe in small efforts think success is about massive actions. And because they can't always take big steps, they do nothing at all. They wait for the perfect moment, the right motivation, the big opportunity. But the ones who truly succeed, they know the secret. They know that small habits done consistently are the real game changers. Every day, you are either building momentum toward success or momentum toward failure. You are either making small choices that push you forward or small choices that hold you back. And the scary part, you won't notice the impact right away. If you skip one workout, nothing happens. If you eat one unhealthy meal, nothing changes. If you waste 1 hour on distractions instead of working on your goals, your life looks the same. But multiply that habit over weeks, months, and years, and suddenly you find yourself far behind. The same works in reverse. If you make just a 1% improvement every day, that doesn't seem like much, but over a year, those tiny improvements compound into something massive. That's how greatness is built. not through occasional bursts of effort, but through daily discipline. Look at the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by accident. They have rituals, habits, routines that they stick to no matter what. They don't rely on motivation. They don't wait until they feel like doing something. They do it because it's who they are. They know that momentum is either their greatest ally or their worst enemy. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. Showing up every single day, whether you feel like it or not. Taking small actions, trusting the process, believing in the power of compounding, because when you commit to this, something incredible happens. What once felt difficult becomes effortless. What once required willpower becomes second nature. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The difference between those who win and those who don't isn't talent. It isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. It's their habits, their daily actions, their unwavering commitment to improvement, no matter how small. The question is, what kind of momentum are you building right now? Because whether you realize it or not, your habits are creating your future. And if you're not intentionally shaping them, they are shaping you. You have the power to change your life, not someday, not when the conditions are perfect, but right now. The small decisions you make today are shaping the person you'll become tomorrow. And make no mistake, success isn't reserved for the lucky, the gifted, or the privileged. It belongs to those who refuse to settle, to those who commit, who push, who take action even when no one is watching. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. You don't need to move mountains today. You just need to move forward. Because success is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Most people wait. They wait for the right time, the right opportunity, the perfect plan. And in doing so, they waste years. But not you. You are here for a reason. You are hearing this message because something inside of you refuses to accept average. And if that fire is burning inside you, you owe it to yourself to feed it. Remember this, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Champions are not the ones who do extraordinary things. They are the ones who do the ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is discipline. It's showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's putting in the work when no one is clapping. It's pushing forward when your mind is screaming at you to stop. You are stronger than your excuses. You are bigger than your fears. You were not put on this earth to be average, to blend in, to accept mediocrity. You have greatness inside of you, but it is your responsibility to unleash it. Success doesn't go to the person who wants it the most. It goes to the person who works for it the most. Pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. One day you will look back at this moment and realize that you had a choice to keep making excuses or to take control of your destiny. So what will you choose? Will you let another day slip by, or will you take action? Because the clock is ticking and the future is waiting for no one. Make today count. Make every second count, because your time is now.